this is Ron Ross with this week's edition of Motivation Moment. Thanks for tuning in. Issue 8, Do Right. To suggest that you or I should do right in any given circumstance implies that there is such a thing as wrong. Yet the idea of right and wrong is challenged every day by moral relativists, people who don't believe in any moral absolutes, of which they are absolutely certain. They say things like, well, it might be right for you, but that's you. I just don't feel that way. Or they may say, you can't impose your morality on me, which, of course, if you think about it, is an imposition of their immorality or their amorality on you. Now, many people much smarter than I have posited that each human is born with the laws of nature burned into their minds and hearts. Did you know that there is actually a substantial body of empirical evidence to back up that theory? For instance, it is generally agreed in every tribe and nation that the murder of innocent people is wrong. Well, whose idea was that? And there are a vast number of ideas, sociologists call them mores, on how rational beings ought to act. Every society has well-established mores, and they must come from somewhere. For instance, who decided it is better to be honest than to tell a lie? Who determined that you can own something and that it's wrong for me to steal it from you? Well, what if I want it? And what if I need it more than you do? Wouldn't that make it right? You want to have some fun with this? Tell a moral relativist that you would like to kill him because it feels to you like the right thing to do. You could even sing him a song while you execute him. It can't be wrong if it feels so right. I promised you that even the most generous, non-judgmental, openly tolerant, liberal-leaning moral relativist will quickly change into a single-minded, totally focused, radically conservative, moral absolutist and scream, you can't do that, it's wrong. And of course, he would be right. Because some things are absolutely right and some things are absolutely wrong, and most of the time you and I know the difference, and most of the time we don't need anyone to tell us. We just know. Now, the totality of right and wrong is far too important to be left to individual interpretation, as that would bring about social chaos. On the other hand, we can't leave it entirely to majority rule because that's what gave us slavery, and the majority cannot be depended upon to always consider the rights of the minority. So who decides what's right and wrong? Hey, I've got an idea. What about you? You look like a pretty smart person. Let's let you decide what is right and what is wrong. You write the laws. You make the judgments. You pronounce the sentences for wrongdoers, and you hand out the rewards for right doers. Let's see. That would make you, dare I say it, God. So who is the source of right and wrong? Well, it ain't you, pal, and it certainly isn't me. You know who it is, don't you? And you know that when you do right, no matter what sacrifice is demanded, that deep inside your soul you are secure, you are decent, and you are confident. This is Ron Ross, the Mile High Motivator, coming to you from my home office in Denver, Colorado. I'll see you next week with the next edition of Motivation Moment.